Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel for another Stalker's mod showcases. This time September. As you know, autumn has arrived, and so has the Ukrainian counteroffensive that is literally kicking the Russians out of their country. I really hope that they succeed, and hope that they can keep their momentum, as that actually makes me pretty happy. As I knew it, the Russian military are literally scraping the bottom of the barrel, because they have the exact same issue as the West in terms of it's not birth issues, but it's the birth rate. So if they don't have the correct the optimal living conditions, they don't have a lot of births, therefore they have limited manpower. I know that Putin just, ordered the partial quotes mobilization, but I really appreciate the Russian people just are like, fuck you, no, I don't think so, and they just left the country. Yeah, and the ones that are resisting Putin in their own country, well, we have to praise them, because it takes a lot of guts. Remember, they'll probably all end up getting arrested and tortured, so they are risking a lot. I really hope that the Russian system really changes, and the end of oligarchy and rich people that, cause the same issues to all of us that just want to live our lives. Anyway, enough of that. Let's start with our first mod today. Our first mod is Fate of the Zone 08.1. It is a mod for Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. It is a standalone. Fate of the Zone is a free play modification with a number of features that not everyone will like. You should not rely on previous experience from other mods. The zone here is changeable and predictable. You won't know what anomalies and mutants are waiting for you around the corner until you try to go through that corner. You won't even know if it's possible to go there at all. Maybe not. The zone didn't promise you anything. And when you find an artifact, you will not immediately know what properties it has. This game will not play giveaway with you. Do you want to load your weapon? Load the ammunition first to the cartridges. So yeah, well, this mod has literally a full customization. Well, it doesn't have a character creation, but it has a full customization of all the equipment that we use. It is visible on the character. We can literally assemble our own combination of belt, loading, coats, whatever we need to prepare for any trip. The magazine feed system for weapons. You can have a quick change. You need to keep the the magazines or the cartridges in your pockets, and for example, when you run out of ammo on one of the cartridge, you need to reload it with ammo. You can use for example, you can use drum magazines from the RPK or magazines from the AKSU with 45 rounds on the AK-74. It's like a, field upgrade codes. Artifact property generation system. Artifact properties vary from instance to instance, which means we can have the same artifact and both. God damn it! I lost my train of thought there. We can have two of the same type of artifacts, yeah, and both of them can have different characteristics. For example, one can give you more radiation protection, and the other one can give you more stamina. I think that's the correct term. Yeah. You can see these properties when examining an artifact at any merchant. Lots of new balance artifacts, stamina and blood level system in the body, custom damage system. We have literally a training mode. The first quests are literally training. Anomalous zone generation system, chains, fields, variable chains, single anomalies. The ejection completely changes the appearance of the anomalous zones, which means they are randomly generated, which means you have an anomaly right there, but when an emission occurs, you can have that anomaly might have moved away to a complete different place, and you have another type of anomaly. Live a life. I know you already saw it somewhere, but in this mod, Stalker mutants really travel through the exclusion zone. You can find corpses, skirmishes in the most unexpected places. For example, over time, a stray bloodsucker may wander from the north of the zone, or may not wander. And it fundamentally changes your mod experience. So basically, every time that you make a playthrough of this mod, it is literally random. It's completely different from the next time you play it or the previous time you play it. So this is my personal experience so far. From what I've played, I enjoyed the gameplay, although it might be very complicated, maybe a little bit more extreme than Anomaly. Everything in the zone is lethal, and guns are limited to its realistic values. For example, shotguns will do, area damage instead of penetration damage to targets. The ambience makes you be on your tiptoes literally at every moment, especially the first mission where you have to escort someone with only a knife. And yeah, well, as you know, links are in the description. If you want to try this mod. Links for the mod and the translation, of course, are in the description. Next we have Shadows Addon unofficial patch 2.0. This is a mod for Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. This is not a standalone. You will need the Russian version of Stalker 1.006 from GOG, which is actually easy to do. If you have Stalker on GOG, you can just change the language on the installation from English to Russian, and the game will update itself automatically. And when you're through with this mod, you can turn it back to English if you want. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. The unofficial patch is an alternative development option for the Shadows add-on. The changes affected almost all the resources of both the modification itself and the original Shadows of Chernobyl. Some of its features are modified and supplemented the plot of the original game. A quest to find your first artifact, a breakthrough on an armored personnel carrier to the sarcophagus. That sounds fun. Captivity at the mercenary base in the Dead City and the way to the laboratory through an anomalous field on the generators. In addition, a large number of quests and various cutscenes have been restored. The plot dreams of the protagonist have been changed, added new and changed old levels in the game, the appearance, lighting, sound, and many other effects that fill the locations have undergone serious refinement and improvements. Also restore some levels cut from the release version of the game. Thanks to the modified game engine, it was possible to implement and restore some unique features, among them conversations through the PDA, a system for upgrading weapons and armor, opening doors, the presence of a trunk and fuel consumption in cars, stationary computers, a new weapon animation system, first and much more. The car monsters have been restored, including the legendary green car leg. I think this is the midget thing. Creepy. Some abilities have been returned to mutants, such as a completely reanimated kiss of a bloodsucker, great, a blinding side strike of a pseudo dog, as well as the ability of a murderer to neutralize the main character for a certain period of time. Changed many anomalies, as well as post effects from them. Removed properties have been recreated, such as Springboard's ability to toss objects that hit it, and the damage from rusty hair. In addition, new properties have been added to some artifacts. Significantly reworked dynamic lighting. Now it is closer to the old assemblies of the game. In addition, dynamic grass shadows, the main character's shadow, shot marks on dynamic objects, and many other effects have been restored. The old game interface has been completely restored. The inventory now has the ability to sleep. In the PDA, you can now put marks on the map and communicate with stalkers, and during a search or trade you can see items in slots, which will not allow you to accidentally lose them. This is, for example, when you're buying or selling stuff, it shows you what items are you using by highlighting them in green, if I'm not mistaken. Change sound environment, restored old random sounds on locations, weapon sounds as well as character voices. Improved NPC intelligence, now they can throw grenades, use cover, and also bypass anomalies. From now on, traders will not buy badly worn weapons and suits. Fixed many bugs in the original game, inconsistencies in the plot and secondary tasks, textual errors as well as logical inconsistencies. So my experience so far is, for what I played, I enjoyed the gameplay. It's a classic RMA / Shadows ambience. The guns actually feel quite satisfying, and as always, download links for the mod and the translation will be in the description. Next we have Epic Modpack for Stalker Call of Chernobyl / Anomaly. This one's a standalone. Basically it's a modpack for Anomaly by PoorMans. It includes 183 different mods / fixes. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about this mod because, there's a lot of these mods nowadays, and the number of them only seems to be increasing. And we have to be honest, I think Anomaly is a great mod. It has very good mod packs for it, but I think people are starting to get a little bit burnt out of it. At least I am. There are no changes in the quests. You have the same old storyline. Yeah, I wish we could have more quests / storylines to make the game more interesting. And different rewards. You know that I'm a firearms enthusiast and like hundreds of firearms in the game. Well, I have New Arsenal. I think that's one of the games that has more firearms, if I'm not mistaken. But I might be wrong. I think Anomaly Weapons overall also has a lot of guns, tons of guns. You know, the more the merrier, in my opinion. So yeah, well, there is not much to talk about this Modpack. From what I played, it's a customizable experience for Anomaly with a lot of visual and gameplay improvements. You can customize the difficulty that you want to have, if you want it suicidal or, you know, tourist. Well, as always, download links will be in the description. And finally, we have Stalker FM, also known as Stalker Fundamental Mode. This is a mod for Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl. It is not a standalone. You will need the Russian version of Shadow of Chernobyl 1.0004. So on this mod, events take place sometime after the original story. Apparently we are custom character. The sarcophagus of the nuclear power plant is covered with a protective dome. Mutants are rampant on the radar. The life of a stalker is difficult and unsightly. There is no free play. There are 5 different endings, one of which allows you to return to the game. The sleeping bag allows you to sleep for 3 hours and looks like a bandage jacket. Don't throw it away by mistake. The plot has been completely redone. The quests are new or inserted in the original ones, like on Cordon, where it all begins. The characters are new, except for those personifying the original, Shadow of Chernobyl, Zadorvich, Bartender, and others. That is from the set that the creators of the game had. A different plot was built. So yeah, some of the features is the gas mask icon has been returned. There is a random delivery of all quest caches from any stalker has been excluded. Quest caches will be given out only in the story, which means when you kill an enemy and you have a cache notification, there will be nothing there for you, apparently. Fixed inventory in search menu for WW monitors. Access Chef now has its own individual look because it's like the duty got a new cook. Native icons were made for all quest characters, so everyone has a what do you call it? Custom portrait. Apparently, in the old game, everyone looks like Wolf. The type of SMS has been slightly changed. The offer of the message is firstly displayed, then the text of the message itself. Notepad is now different from Note, both visually and iconically. Alf Psycho's endless dialogue is now a one-time use, but nevertheless we will be able to hand over the flash drive to both Max and the cook, if desired. The quest for a laptop cipher machine for the secretary has been slightly changed. The function called piston issue from the beginning of the dialogues has been moved to the end of the dialogue. Almost all dialogues in the mod have been corrected. Syntax, punctuation, banal typos, other orders. Strengthened pseudo giant, and that was that's great. Weather has been fixed with a panoramic mod message that appears on a specific weather cycle should no longer appear. Gray's looped phrase, "Well done man, we are them," in the anger at the garbage has been fixed. Fixed early receipt of the test, there is the one to give, return to side garbage. The corpse at the tunnel will appear only when seller asks to take the parcel. Remove the auto quest, protect the camp from the attack of bandits at the garbage when moving from the agroprom, which then cannot be handed over to the bartender and after they goes into failure. The miser now has infinite money, like all merchants. Fix the endless supply of first aid kits during the hunt with the guide Vasily. Vasily will give out only one. Okay. To the game character. Jesus Christ, I can't even read. A stub was made from the prematurity of the game character on the agroprom, and hence the breakage of the plot. The quest protect newcomers to the village from mercenaries has been reworked. Now it is counted when killing mercenaries, and not like before. The fan has been removed completely, since the mod is not involved in the plot. The quest to protect the is now issued by S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Okay. Strengthen Vedka Subagates. Hostage with bandits on agroprom. Now it also dies, but not so lightning fast. Fix crash on Bomb Storm. The native name of the artifact empty was returned. It used to be battery for some reason. Now it's empty. Lol. Remove the ability to return to the bar from the warehouses, as follows from the dialogue. So, my personal experience so far. For what I played, I enjoyed the gameplay. The shotgun that I get from the stash is freaking amazing. You can tell by the satisfaction that I have on literally shooting all the mutants or going after all the mutants. So yeah, for what I played, I actually enjoyed it. Although it might be a little bit confusing because of the translation, which is a machine translation. It's not a proper translation, but yet it is playable. And as always, the links for the mod and the translation will be in the description. Well guys, and that's all for this month. As always, the download links for all the mods are in the description. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching, stay safe and stay well, and I'll see you guys next time.